Welcome. As your lead instructor and architect, I have prepared this audio transcript for the CompTIA A plus 220-1102 Core 2 practice exam. We will walk through each question systematically. For the multiple choice section, I will read the question followed immediately by the correct answer. For the written section, I will read the prompt and then provide the full written response. Let us begin. Multiple choice questions. Question 1. Which of the following provides centralized authentication, authorization, and accounting for users accessing a network? Answer: Radius. Question 2. A user accidentally deleted a critical file from a shared network drive. Which built-in Windows feature allows you to restore a previous version? Answer: File history. Question 3. Which of these best describes the purpose of Windows Safe Mode? Answer: Load Windows with minimal drivers and services. Question 4. What is the primary purpose of the Windows Task Scheduler? Answer: Run automated tasks at predefined times. Question 5. Which tool would best help identify resource-intensive applications on a Windows 10 system? Answer: Task Manager. Question 6. Which of the following permissions allows a user to change files and folders, but not delete them? Answer: Right. Question 7. Which setting in Windows 10 enables BitLocker encryption on a system drive? Answer: Control Panel, BitLocker Drive Encryption. Question 8. Which of the following is a valid reason to use Pupdate Force? Answer: Manually reapply group policy settings. Question 9. Which log file would you consult to identify repeated login failures on a Windows workstation? Answer: Security Log. Question 10. What type of user account is best for daily operations while minimizing security risks? Answer: Standard user. Question 11. Which Windows utility can be used to check for file system errors on a hard drive? Answer: Check disk. Question 12. Which of the following is a valid reason to use System Restore? Answer: Return the system to a previous working state. Question 13. In Windows, what is the main function of the SFC ScanNow command? Answer: Scan and repair protected system files. Question 14. Which type of malware is designed to trick users into installing fake software? Answer: Rogue antivirus. Question 15. Which Windows feature allows the creation of a virtual machine? Answer: Hyper-V. Question 16. Which of the following provides centralized management of user settings in a domain environment? Answer: Group policy. Question 17. What is the purpose of the Windows recovery environment? Answer: Provide advanced troubleshooting tools. Question 18. Which Windows command line tool can display the current TCP/IP network configuration? Answer: IP protocol configuration. Question 19. Which of the following is a benefit of using NTFS over FAT32? Answer: Larger file size support and improved security features. Question 20. A user reports that their system is running slowly after a recent update. Which tool should be used to identify the problem? Answer: Task Manager. Question 21. Which of the following is used to encrypt an entire volume on a Windows machine? Answer: BitLocker. Question 22. Which utility allows an administrator to manage system startup programs in Windows 10? Answer: imsconfig. Question 23. Which Windows feature helps prevent unauthorized applications from modifying the system? Answer: User Account Control. Question 24. Which of these tools is best used for removing malware that starts before the operating system loads? Answer: Windows Defender Offline. Question 25. Which setting would most likely need to be modified to allow file sharing on a public network? Answer: Windows Firewall exceptions. Question 26. Which logon type should be used for a Windows service that needs to run in the background with minimal privileges? Answer: Local service. Question 27. Which of the following commands will create a new folder in command prompt? Answer: Mkdir. Question 28. Which of the following is most effective in preventing unauthorized physical access to a desktop PC? Answer: Cable lock. Question 29. What type of user profile allows settings to be stored on a server and used across multiple machines? Answer: Roaming. Question 30. Which command displays a list of currently active network connections and their statuses? Answer: Netstat. Question 31. What does the Windows command sfc scan now do? Answer. Scans and repairs protected system files. Question 32. Which of these features is used to restrict application execution to only approved apps? Answer. App Locker. Question 33. Which type of account in Windows 10 has the most limited access? Answer. Guest. Question 34. What is the default port number used by the Remote Desktop Protocol? Answer. 3389. Question 35. Which of these should be disabled to reduce the attack surface on a workstation? Answer. Autoplay. Question 36. Which feature in Windows allows a user to revert to a saved system configuration? Answer. System Restore. Question 37. Which file system supports file permissions and encryption? Answer. NTFS. Question 38. Which of the following is an advantage of a Microsoft account over a local account? Answer. Provides access to cloud services. Question 39. What type of threat disguises itself as legitimate software? Answer. Trojan. Question 40. Which of these can be used to manage local security policies? Answer. Local security policy. Question 41. Which command is used to display a list of files and subdirectories in a directory in Windows? Answer. dir. Question 42. What is the best way to prevent unauthorized access to data on a lost or stolen laptop? Answer. BitLocker encryption. Question 43. Which of the following allows you to boot a Windows system with minimal drivers and services? Answer. Safe mode. Question 44. Which command would you use to release a DHCP assigned IP address? Answer. IP protocol configuration release. Question 45. What is the primary purpose of the Windows registry? Answer. Store configuration settings and options. Question 46. Which of these utilities allows you to change the default programs associated with file types? Answer. Default programs. Question 47. What is the main function of the pedit.msc tool? Answer. Configure group policies. Question 48. Which malware type is capable of spreading itself without user intervention? Answer. Worm. Question 49. Which system utility can be used to manage background applications in Windows? Answer. System configuration. Question 50. Which setting helps reduce the attack surface by notifying the user before software makes changes? Answer. UAC. Question 51. Which command would you use to test name resolution for a domain name? Answer. nslookup. Question 52. Which of these can be configured in local security policy to enforce account lockout after failed login attempts? Answer. Account lockout policy. Question 53. Which file format is commonly used for Windows system backups? Answer. .vhdx. Question 54. What tool is used to manage system devices and verify driver installation? Answer. Device Manager. Question 55. Which Windows feature helps protect your system by scanning downloads and apps for known threats? Answer. Smart Screen Filter. Question 56. Which group policy setting prevents users from accessing the command prompt? Answer. Disable command prompt. Question 57. Which of the following helps protect against phishing attempts in email? Answer. Spam filter. Question 58. What is the primary use of Windows Defender Firewall? Answer. Prevent unauthorized inbound-outbound network traffic. Question 59. Which utility allows you to assign drive letters and create partitions in Windows? Answer. Disk management. Question 60. Which component is essential for enabling biometric login in Windows? Answer. Fingerprint scanner. Question 61. Which of the following utilities allows you to view and manage all startup applications? Answer. System configuration. Question 62. What is the purpose of Windows compatibility mode? Answer. Run applications in a previous version of Windows. Question 63. Which security feature uses chip-level encryption to ensure secure boot? Answer. TPM. Question 64. Which of the following is an example of social engineering? Answer. Phishing email. Question 65. Which file attribute prevents accidental file modification? Answer. Read-only. Question 66. Where can you manage Windows services and check their status? Answer. Services.msc. Question 67. Which feature in Windows allows remote control of a desktop? Answer. Remote desktop. Question 68. Which backup type only saves files changed since the last full backup? Answer: incremental. Question 69. What is the minimum user permission required to install most software on Windows? Answer: administrator. Question 70. Which Windows 10 feature allows you to reset the OS while keeping your personal files? Answer: reset this PC. Question 71. Which of the following best describes the function of Windows Update? Answer: delivers security patches and feature updates. Question 72. What tool would you use to modify the boot order in Windows? Answer: BIOS UEFI. Question 73. Which of the following threats is mitigated by disabling autorun in Windows? Answer: worms via USB devices. Question 74. Which type of user account is designed to be used for a specific task or application? Answer: service account. Question 75. Which command is used to repair the boot configuration data in Windows? Answer: bootrec rebuild bkit. Question 76. Which utility allows you to view the current status of system hardware and installed drivers? Answer: device manager. Question 77. Which of the following commands will test end-to-end connectivity? Answer: ping. Question 78. What is the main purpose of a password policy? Answer: enforce complexity and expiration requirements. Question 79. What Windows feature provides automatic backup of personal files? Answer: file history. Question 80. What does the Windows Action Center primarily notify users about? Answer: security and maintenance issues. Question 81. Which Windows utility is used to manage user accounts and reset passwords? Answer: computer management, local users, and groups. Question 82. What feature in Windows allows encryption of individual files or folders? Answer: EFS. Question 83. Which Windows tool displays system error messages and audit logs? Answer: Event Viewer. Question 84. Which of the following types of software would most likely be used to prevent data exfiltration? Answer: DLP. Question 85. Which command would you use to display the routing table on a Windows machine? Answer: route print. Question 86. Which of these file systems is not natively supported by Windows? Answer: extension 4. Question 87. Which utility in Windows allows you to roll back a device driver? Answer: device manager. Question 88. Which port does Secure Shell operate on by default? Answer: 22. Question 89. Which of the following best mitigates insider threats in a corporate environment? Answer: least privilege principle. Question 90. What is the first step in malware removal according to best practices? Answer: identify and research malware symptoms. Written questions. Question 91. Explain the step-by-step process for removing persistent malware from a Windows PC. Answer: disconnect from the network, boot into safe mode, run malware scans using updated tools, remove identified threats, clear temp files, disable startup entries, check browser extensions, and reboot. Reconnect to the network and monitor the system. Question 92. Describe how to configure a user account in Windows with restricted access and explain why it's important. Answer: create a new user via Control Panel or Settings. Set the account type to Standard User to limit access to system settings and software installation. This minimizes risk from accidental changes or malware infections. Question 93. Detail the procedure to enable BitLocker and configure TPM for full disk encryption on a Windows device. Answer: open Control Panel, BitLocker Drive Encryption. Click Turn on BitLocker. If TPM is present, it will be used to store encryption keys. Follow prompts to back up the recovery key and start encryption. Ensure TPM is enabled in BIOS UEFI. Question 94. Explain how to perform a system restore from safe mode, including why you might choose this method. Answer: reboot and press F8 or Shift plus restart to enter safe mode. Select Advanced Options, System Restore. Choose a restore point before the issue occurred. Safe mode allows restoration when normal mode is unstable or unbootable. Question 95. List and describe 3 common symptoms of a phishing attack and how to respond. Answer: symptoms: unexpected login prompts, suspicious links, emails, and urgency in messaging. Response: report to IT security, do not click links, change passwords, and scan the system for threats. Question 96. Outline how to configure and apply a local security policy that enforces password complexity. Answer. Open secpol.msc account policies password policy. Enable settings like password must meet complexity requirements, set minimum length, and define expiration period. Apply policy and inform users. Question 97. Explain how to use pedit.msc to disable removable storage access for all users on a standalone workstation. Answer. Launch pedit.msc user configuration, administrative templates, system, removable storage access. Enable all removable storage classes. Deny all access. This blocks all users from accessing USB and external drives. Question 98. Describe the best practices for securely disposing of a hard drive that contains sensitive data. Answer. For secure disposal, wipe the drive using disk wiping software, degauss the drive, or physically destroy it using shredders or drills. Always confirm erasure and follow organizational or regulatory policies. Question 99. Provide the steps required to safely boot into the Windows recovery environment and perform a startup repair. Answer. Open Settings, Update and Security Recovery. Select Restart Now under Advanced Startup. In WinRE, go to Troubleshoot Advanced Options Startup Repair. This can resolve boot issues caused by missing or corrupted files. Question 100. Explain how to use Event Viewer to investigate a failed logon attempt and what key details to look for. Answer. Open Event Viewer Windows Logs Security. Look for Event ID 4625. Review the date time, account name, failure reason, and source IP address to determine if it's a legitimate user or a potential attack.